Ideals like peace, freedom, and justice, they get packed up, but we can all go home. Well, I'm not going home. I'm gonna get on my boat, and I'm going upriver, and I'm going to kick that son of a bitch Bison's ass so hard that the next Bison wannabe is gonna feel it. Now, who wants to go home, and who wants to go with me?
Welcome to the Rated G for Gamers podcast, episode 319. Before we start the show, we want to thank all of our wonderful fans who have supported us. And if you want to show support for the Rated G Network, you can find us on Patreon at patreon.com/Rated for Gamers. You can also find us on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rated G for Gamers. And finally, please rate and review us on iTunes and Spotify. We appreciate all the love. I'm your host, Dave Rotino, and this is my co-host, Dan. I just got back from the best vacation ever, Robinson.
What's going on, man?
Well, welcome back. I think that's in order.
Thank you.
I think that's in order. I'm a little bit jealous. You got to go down to the Caribbean and experience the beautiful clear water and the lovely sun and the hospitality of Jamaica, right?
Jamaica was awesome. Listen, I got to tell you, if you've never been to an all-inclusive resort, you have to go. You have to go.
Well, I'm going in August.
Food, drinks, all free.
Mm-hmm.
You should leave tips because that's the whole point. Like everybody there is they want. I'm sure they get it's like being a waiter, right? Like you're a waiter, you probably get like a small salary, but everybody lives off tips. So.
Oh well, waiters specifically, they get paid under minimum wage. But you're right. I think everyone deserves a little bit, right? Even though it is all inclusive, they usually and correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, they kind of whatever you want, they'll kind of give it to you. They're always there. You need something, they're right there with it. Service is like top notch. Yeah.
100%. And I was like sort of like like the platinum member. I was in like the exclusive private beach, private pool. It was awesome. They tended to, everything you needed, right? Mm-hmm. I mean, anything if they can make it possible. Because I did ask somebody, hey, can you like go to a video game store and get me Little Samson? That'd be great. But he had no idea what I was talking about. So.
Well, you'd probably get the localized version, which wouldn't be in English. So I mean, I would still take a foreign Little Samson.
I would too. But I did look up retro video game stores. Mm-hmm. Not a lot in Jamaica. Also, not a lot. No GameStops in Jamaica, and whatever the equivalent of a video game store that they had was nowhere near me.
Yeah. So well, that's not surprising. Okay, when I go on vacation, ain't doing any of that. No, I'm not. Unless it was like in the gift shop. If they had like a video game store in the gift shop, I would go take a look. Otherwise, I'm on vacation mode. I ain't hunting for anything on that point. But
no, I would hunt. No, when I went to Mexico last year, they had I don't remember if it was a GameStop per se. But they did have like a retro game store. It was like an hour away, and I did debate if I wanted to catch a cab, and go there and come back. But I decided not to. But,
well, I mean,
I don't mind. I wouldn't mind going hunting in the front. What I mean? When you went overseas, when you went to Europe, you brought me back a Dreamcast game, right? You went hunting. You were on vacation.
I did when I was in Germany. Yeah, but that was okay. Sure. Yeah, I did. I just. Doing like the all-inclusive resort and all that, it doesn't seem like there's a lot around besides the resort. And maybe like a touristy promenade where you can buy like overpriced gifts for the family and all that, right? I just wouldn't think there'd be a lot around. That's all.
So I love coffee, and you know, every time I go out to a foreign country, I always bring back like a bag of coffee.
Yep.
You know, and I brought a bag from Mexico, I brought a bag from Jamaica, and the coffee is always super expensive, but it's so good.
Right?
I had like 2 shots. I had 2 espresso shots before I left, and I swear I was wired. I was up. It was amazing. God. I love coffee from Jamaica, Ethiopia, and Colombia. The best 3, top 3 right there.
Oh, so I'm doing what you're doing, not in Jamaica, but in Mexico, in the middle of August. So I got another 2 months, and it feels like I'm like 8 and I'm waiting for my birthday again. It's just like, or Christmas, right? It's just like, why can't I be on vacation right now?
Well, I had a great birthday. You only turned 25 once, right? And I will always remember my 25th birthday in Jamaica. Thank you very much.
All right. Oh, very nice.
Plus
well, happy birthday all around. I mean, I know I wish you happy birthday already, but formally on the show, happy birthday to Dan Robinson.
Thank you. All right. We have an awesome show this week. Coming up, we're going to talk about Sony's State of Play, and a new mini console was announced. But before we get into any of that stuff, let's begin the show with one of Dave's favorite franchises of all time, Tekken. And it was announced that Tekken 7 is now the highest selling game in the series, topping $9 million.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that?
9 million copies. 9 million copies.
Well, 9 million copies.
Yeah.
Which is more than $9 million.
Right. It so previously, this is actually interesting. I did not know this. The previous record was, I think in my opinion, and in a lot of people's opinions, the best in the series. Tekken 3 had 8.36 million copies.
Wow.
It took them, Tekken 3 came out in the arcade in 97, I think, maybe in late 96. And then it came out a year later on the PlayStation console, which was the better version. The graphics weren't as good because it wasn't as powerful. It was on the PlayStation, not the Naomi arcade board. But it did have more characters. It did have more modes. It did have extra outfits for the like it was bonus outfits and whatnot for the characters. So amazingly fun.
Arcade in Japan, November 28th, 1996. Arcade in North America, March 18th, 1997.
Yep.
Came to the PlayStation in Japan, March 26th, 1998. And North America, it came to the PlayStation April 29th, 1998.
There you go. I'm bang on with that. Oh, fantastic. So I don't know if you put a lot of time into Tekken, but my friend James, he had a PlayStation. I had a PC. I went from Super Nintendo to getting a new computer, and I eventually got a PlayStation. But he had the PlayStation. He got Final Fantasy VII, and he got Tekken 3. Those are the first 2 games he got, and we played the shit out of that game. I mean, it was insane.
I know you love Tekken. Is it your favorite? Is it one of your top 3 franchises or favorite fighting game franchises?
It's definitely my favorite fighting game franchise. I did go as Brian Fury for Halloween one year, the cyborg kickboxer who apparently can get hit by a tank shell and still live, but will get knocked down by like a girl in a school uniform. It's a little weird. Yeah. Some of the
well, yeah.
CG
everybody has
cutscenes.
to have everybody has to have their weakness. Come on,
There you go.
Has to have their weakness.
There you go.
I mean, listen, Superman. You can shoot Superman with a gun, and it'll be fine, right? He'll be fine. But if you throw a green rock at him, he'll die.
yeah. It's just filled with some kryptonite. Oh my god.
Yeah. It's essentially a green asteroid.
Right. So I gotta get back to this. I'm still amazed. So Tekken 3, let's say 96, right? Tekken 7, I played it in the arcade when I went to Japan in 2015. They had versions there. It wasn't out here in the arcades yet. It definitely wasn't on the home consoles yet. It took a few years to come to the home consoles. So that was 2015. All right. So 1996. Okay. to 2015, right? You do some napkin math, I think it's 19 years. It's almost 20 years for another one of the series to usurp it. And there's been other great versions. Tekken 5 was great. Tekken 6 was great. I like Tekken Tag 2. Some people didn't. Tekken Tag 2 was...
Tekken Tag 2.
Yeah,
I love Tekken Tag 1 and 2.
Like everybody's, well, with like a very small handful of exceptions, everybody's in that game, right? With the DLC and everything, everyone up to that point is in Tekken Tag Tournament 2, which is awesome.
It's one of Tekken Tag Tournament 2 is like one of my favorite Wii U games. I like the Wii U version.
Oh yeah, that's right. It did come out on the Wii U. I picked that up a couple months ago, I think. And they have like special Nintendo themed costumes for a lot of the characters, so you can be like Heihachi, but he's got the Mario outfit with the suspenders and all that. So that's kind of cool. But
it's a weird collaboration, but I mean, you know, they had to do something for the Wii U version.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Speaking about old arcade games, Frogger, right? A new Frogger game was announced. I mean, you know, E3 season is kicking off, where rare, obscure, old Atari arcade games are getting brand new games announced. So it's coming out for Apple Arcade exclusively, which, you know, I mean, listen, Netflix, come on. This was sitting here for you. You should have had the new Frogger game announced for your gaming platform.
I know.
Maybe Dave would be more intrigued now if he did. But
I would. I would. Not by a lot, but I would be more.
So it's Frogger and the Rambling Ruins. I think it looks cool. I mean, obviously it's a mobile game, but Frogger, I'll be honest, I thought Frogger was owned by Activision. And I thought this would be like a Microsoft thing.
It was an early Konami game.
Wow. So look, Konami's still making games and not just pachinko machines.
Yeah, this is what we have to get excited for. Mobile versions of their early video games. Like they did it with Contra. I played the mobile version of Contra. It was terrible. I deleted it right away. This Frogger version, I have a little more hope for because it's in the Apple Arcade. And typically, as far as I know, the games in the Apple Arcade don't have microtransactions. You get the full game, right? That's what comes with the whatever per month fee, right? You get a smorgasbord of curated games. And they're very stylized. They have good art direction, and they're usually pretty good in terms of game mechanics. So I would like to assume that it's going to be a good game, but I don't have an iPhone, so I can't try it out.
Oh, I'll tell you. Oh, I don't subscribe to Apple Arcade. I'm not a big mobile game guy, but I say all of this, and I even bring the story up to say, Dave, we need a Centipede 4K. In 4K. Yes. Come on. We need a brand new Centipede 4K exclusive to the Atari VCS.
Well, hold on. Okay. Do you think the Frogger game, seriously, do you think the Frogger game is going to entice people to sign up for Apple Arcade? Or do you think people are going to pay whatever the price is for this game?
If it's good, well, first of all, I don't think it'll be exclusive long. I think it will come to every platform eventually.
Oh, I'm assuming it'll
at
be
least
on
the Switch.
Android
At least the Switch.
6 months or whatever, yeah. Or even other like actual consoles. Yeah.
It'll probably watch. It'll be in like a Nintendo Direct at some point.
Right.
Down the line.
Well, that's not what I asked. I asked, do you think people are going to be excited for this? Is this going to boost sales numbers for Apple Arcade?
I think the name recognition, like people know Frogger, listen, you can say what you will, but people know, oh yeah, I remember that Frog game, right? It's simple. It's a simple game.
Some people know Frogger. I mean,
rewind.
I don't think millennials or zennials are going to be like, oh yeah, Frogger.
I think millennials know who a Frogger is. Maybe not zennials, but okay, let me rewind.
Okay.
Oceanhorn 2. Right? Like that was, the original Oceanhorn was sort of like a Zelda clone. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Do you think that brought subscribers to Apple Arcade? Because that was exclusive when it first came out. Now it's out on everything.
Not because of the name, because it's a new franchise that nobody knows about, but because of the trailer and the art style. So if Frogger has all of that, then sure, if somebody like actually, if they can get the trailer in front of people's eyeballs and they go, oh shoot, this game looks super cute, I'm going to download it. But I don't think the name is going to bring anybody to Apple Arcade. When they say new Frogger game, nobody's jumping out of their seat. I'm not jumping out of my seat. And I used to love Frogger back in the day.
I think it's a new game. I think it's semi-brand recognition. I'll say that semi. I'm not going to go full. It's not Halo. And it'll be promoted at the top of the screen in Apple Arcade, right? And people will give it a shot. People will try it out. And if the mechanics are good, I think people will come. I mean, I'm intrigued. Sure. I'm intrigued to see some gameplay, and maybe I'll even, I have.
You're not going to join Apple Arcade. You said at the top, I don't play mobile games. You're going to pay for a subscription.
Well, I'm about to contradict myself in games we've been playing. But I will say this. I've been sitting on like a 90-day free trial of Apple Arcade.
Oh, well, that's not fair. Then of course you're going to try it.
Waiting for the day of Centipede for
oh my god, yeah, this guy over here,
for me to redeem it so I can use it. So
we'll see. Listen, if they make a super enhanced look, the Frogger game could be awesome, right? I'm kind of throwing shade at it right now. A new Centipede game could be awesome. It just has to have enough of a hook, right? It has to have enough features, enough power-ups, or whatever it is, or if it's like a full-on adventure game, it's got to be like tight controls. I would give it a shot. Right, but I'm not gonna get an iPhone, sign up for Apple Arcade just for that. I'm gonna wait till it comes to Android, or when it comes to Switch, maybe I'll kind of take a look at it.
Okay, Dave, it's that time of the show, as we always try to start the show but epically fail. What have you been playing?
Oh well, speaking of mobile, then, and now I have to preface this: I haven't actually gotten to play it yet because you got to download it. And you got to download a big patch, I believe, for the game as well. But I do have on my phone the new Diablo Immortal.
Wow.
So,
okay.
To answer that guy's question who was on stage, yes, I have a cell phone. So I'm able to play Diablo Immortal. Now, I have heard, and it's probably going to be true, but I want to actually try it first and see where it's at. But I have heard the paywall comes quick and comes fast, and yeah. So I was listening to the Escapist, one of the Escapist YouTube streams. They were playing Diablo Immortal, and the girl who was playing has only played for like 3 or 4 hours, and she's already level 35.
Wow.
Yeah, which is high, right? Diablo 3 goes to level 60. So in 4 hours, if you were playing Diablo 3 and you were at level 35, you would have already beaten the game once over and started a second playthrough to get to level 60. So, yeah. So it comes quick. And I hear that the paywall comes in when it comes to the gems. Or the little like gemstones that go inside the weapons and armor to like boost up its power. I think that's where that is. And when you get to a point like you can't really level up your character anymore and you need the gems and you basically have to grind it out for hours and hours on end or pay money. So I ain't paying any money because I can just play the Diablo 2 remaster, which is amazing. Or I can even go back to Diablo 3 and play that and it'll be fine. Because it's the same kind of gameplay. Right, this just has the added ability of being mobile. Now, there is a PC version, so you can play it mouse and keyboard, but I hear that it's not optimized for PC. The UI is not great. I think the controls not. Yeah, surprise.
How is the PC game not optimized for PC? That doesn't make any sense.
Because it's a mobile game first, and they kind of put it on PC as a afterthought.
Gotcha.
That's really where
now
it's at. Yeah.
All right, that makes sense now. Because I was kind of like, how's that even possible? That's like saying, hey, I'm going to put out a PS4, Xbox One game, and it's not really optimized. Oh, wait, we did that. Cyberpunk.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So I would have to assume that they would update the UI and make some tweaks that make it more PC friendly, right? Big screen friendly or whatever, not on like a tiny little screen. So we'll see. But I want to play it on mobile to see how the experience is. And then if it's really trash, then I'll get my account set up on the PC and I'll play it on the PC and I'll see how bad that experience is.
Got it. Okay. Makes sense.
So that's not actually what I've been playing. So I don't know. I went on a long rant.
It's something that you want to. It's something that you want to play. That you downloaded.
I want to get into it and see how it is.
Okay.
But I have been playing Halo Infinite again. Season 2 is out. The Lone Wolves, which is funny because you can't really be alone when you're in a pack. But I don't know if that's intentional or not. But it's great because they have a whole new season of stuff. They've been putting out more game modes, so there is a bit more variety. There's now 2 new maps that are available, one small arena map and one big team battle map. You can play them in any configuration if you want, but really the larger maps are meant for kind of 16 versus 16 big battle stuff. But it's good. Okay. It's good. It's not enough. They still need to put more out. They still need Forge. They need more new levels. They've only put out 2 new levels in a year and a half, which is not great. Just not great, right? A year and a half? Yeah. Come out last year or the year before?
No, last year.
It came out last November. Okay, so it's only been like a half a year?
Not even a year. Not even a year yet.
Okay. All right, don't bug it. But still, there was a lot of stuff that they promised that kept getting pushed. So... Yeah,
I think you're still living when you pre-ordered it 2 years ago.
Oh my
it's
god!
supposed to come out in 2020.
Yeah. I got the statue. I got the statue like back in the middle of 2020, I think, and I'm like, oh, this is going to be great when the game eventually comes out.
Okay, all right, that's cool.
So, yeah. So what have you been playing, Dan? I know I've been.
Well, I'm about to contradict myself. I don't play mobile games, but I play the hell out of Super Mario Run. I paid my $10 and I've gotten at least $200 out of it.
Right.
I'm still playing the remixes in the Toad rallies because they keep giving you like free tickets, like every day, so you can replenish your tickets. You get up to 99 tickets, which you can use to play remix levels, and you get to play the rallies. So I've been doing that. I mean, listen, it's like a 4-hour plane ride to Jamaica.
Yeah, you got to do something, right? Yeah,
I got to switch it up sometimes. So I was playing Super Mario Run. I was trying to get as many Toads as I can, and trying to. I must have played over. I'm at like almost 300 remixed levels. Yes, literally 300 remixed levels. I'm that high.
God damn.
I've been playing Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Well, hold on. Doesn't Super Mario Run need to authenticate the app?
Yes.
Or no? Okay.
It does.
Okay.
It does. And you can do that when you log into the plane's Wi-Fi.
Ah, that's right. Yeah, because you were doing a long flight across outside the country. So
there and back. By the way, as a side note, things that I've been watching. Maybe that should be a segment. I watched the new Resident Evil movie. It was free on the airplane on the flight. It is terrible. It is terrible.
Yeah,
it is worse than terrible. It was so bad. I was like, "Where's Mila? I need Mila back. I really do." That's how bad it was. Give me any of the Mila Resident Evil movies over this, because it sucked. It sucked that bad. I see what they were trying to do with it. But it's honestly, it's a cheesy movie.
That's always how it goes. Yeah, they get second-rate directors. They get second-rate actors, and I understand they don't have the biggest budget.
They didn't have second-rate actors. They just had a bad script. Like the set pieces were fine. Yeah. The actors were fine. It was the script. The script sucked. The script made no sense. And I know they were trying to put everything all in one, right? But it just didn't make any sense.
Well, did the plot follow any of the games? Like,
they tried to make the plot follow. all the games, and I guess the prequel, right? I think Zero was the prequel to the original, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so they try to fit all of that in, right? I don't want to spoil the movie for you if you want to go see it, but
I mean, I kind of want to know because you said it's so bad. So
it's terrible. Listen, they have the mansion. They do have the mansion. They have the helicopter. They have the dog. Put it this way. Yeah. Put it this way. You know what? This makes more sense. They have everything you recognize. And the sequence or the order is just all screwed up. Does it make any sense?
I see.
They have the pieces to the puzzle,
right?
But they didn't put them together correctly.
Right. So they wanted you to be like, oh my God, there's the thing, and then you're like, yeah, but what's the plot? Where's the story behind it? Yeah.
Yes, the story was stupid. I'm sorry. Right. That was it. And I did watch Dune on the way back, which is a long movie in itself.
Oh, the first part of Dune? Because that's only half of the story.
Well, I didn't know that because I didn't watch the original when it came out.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I was expecting recently. It actually holds up. It holds up.
I was expecting a resolution at the end, not this is what we need to do to go forward. And I'm like, what? There's more. There's gonna be another one? Oh God,
it's a big old.
It's so long. All right, so I've been doing that. I watched those on the plane. I played Mario Kart 8 Deluxe on the Switch. Played that on the plane, and right before I left, I got a little gem from Limited Run. I got my Blood Rain Betrayal Fresh Bites.
This is the 2D one?
Yes, this is the 2D one that came out. I got it on the Switch, so as soon as that came in, I took that with me on the plane, and I was playing that as well.
Nice. Good deal. Any good?
I'm gonna be honest.
Ooh.
I don't have great things to say about it, but I only played an hour of it. So before I completely trash it or say it's not a game for me, I'm not gonna trash it.
Time. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not gonna trash it. I'm gonna say before I say it's not a game for me, I gotta give it a little bit more time.
I feel like it has potential. I
played an hour of it, and I was kind of like, it's not what I was expecting. I didn't watch any playthroughs. I didn't watch any reviews. I pre-ordered it immediately. I'm glad I got it on the Switch and at the PS5 because I got to play it at the airport. So, we'll see. Maybe next week. Maybe next week I'll have sort of like an informal review if I like it or not. I'm definitely going to keep playing it. So, all right. With that said, why don't we take a break? When we come back, we're getting to the top gaming news of last week. And we're back. All right, let's get into the top game news of last week. E3 season has started officially because we got our lead story, which was Sony's State of Play.
Yep.
Right? First one, the kickoff E3 month. We'll just say E3 month or E3 summer. I don't know how long this is going to last.
It's going to last all summer. I mean, Jeff Keighley said Summer of Games Fest.
Summer Game Fest, yes.
Summer Game Fest, right. So it's all summer long. Technically, that would be up until September 20th or the 21st, right?
Funny enough, Sony State of Play also had sort of Summer Games Fest marketing on it. So, that's why I'm calling it officially the kickoff to E3 season. Now, I will say something that rarely happens on the show. I rarely say this on the show because it rarely happens.
Super Mario Brothers 3 is now your favorite game of all time? It is the greatest game of all time? Are you conceding?
No, never.
Are you fine if you finally come to the light side?
This
young Padawan
is just as rare as finding little Samson in the wild. Okay, that's how rare this is.
Okay,
I was wrong.
Oh! Bring out the chalkboard, folks.
I was wrong.
Bring out the chalkboard.
This State of Play had some meat on the bone. I thought this was gonna be corny. I'm not gonna lie. Historically, in the past, the State of Plays have been lackluster. Okay. Well, I'm going off of the past. Get off the past.
Sure.
Usually they have like a PlayStation showcase, as they call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's where it's like meaty, a little bit more meaty, right? This was 36 minutes,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they said it was a third party, mostly third parties, not a lot of first party showcase.
Yeah,
and
this is true.
It was meaty, so this really felt like E3 style announcements, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not gonna go through every game because they did have some indie games which we'll probably talk about, over time when they come out and we get a chance to play them, put in an indie game spotlight. I'm not gonna talk about every single game. We're gonna do a couple of highlights though, but I want to start with Final Fantasy 16.
Yeah, I told you, man. It was either going to be here or at the 25th anniversary of Final Fantasy 7, which would make less sense, funny enough, because it's supposed to be a celebration of 7, not 16. So,
well,
where else could you do it but Sony State?
It was the mic drop moment. It was the end of the show, and we got an extended gameplay trailer of Final Fantasy 16, right? Not turn-based action, just like the last one.
Just
right?
like 15.
15, right? Which is more so for me, which is, I'm ready to jump in.
I mean, look, I also love 15. It's different, but that's kind of the direction they've been going in from like 12 onward. You can like skip the MMO online ones because they're a completely different beast. But 12 was kind of like that. 13 a little bit less so, but similar. And 14 was online, so 15 and 16 were like all out like action games with like a Final Fantasy wrapper. So,
but we got a release window at least, right? And they have summer of next year, summer of 2023.
Yeah, so that's going to be awesome. That's going to be the game to play that summer. It's going to be The Witcher of 2023, I think.
Well, as you said at the beginning of us talking about the state of play, it can come in September because technically summer ends in September 20th. But we would consider that fall. But yes, it is. Right. That is the summer as well.
It's true. It's a bit of a window, yeah.
And then we also got a lot of Resident Evil news. Okay? We got Resident Evil. It's real. It's not a rumor. We got Resident Evil 4 remake officially announced, and I'm not gonna lie, it looks awesome. I will buy it. Will I play it? That's another question. I don't know. But it does look awesome. I'm not going to lie. It looks
I was a little good. I'll be honest. When I first, because this was the Final Fantasy 16 did end the show, where we're kind of flipping the script a little bit. So not surprising, but pleasant to see. The Resident Evil 4 thing, I was like, I did quick math in my head, and I was like, there's the Wii version. There's the Switch version. There's the PS2 version. There's the many PC versions because they did it multiple times. There's the Xbox One, and so on and so on. And I'm like, really? This is how this is going to go? But it's a full-on remake, soup to nuts. It's not just like a resolution bump and some small quality of life features. They're redoing the whole entire thing in the vein of 3 and 2. So very happy to see. That's my favorite one. If you're gonna play any of them, play 4, Dan. It's also a little bit more actiony, right? It kind of bridged the gap between 5 and 6.
Not enough for me.
Well,
not enough for me.
Well, they're changing it. They're changing it this time around, so you don't have to stop and shoot. You can run and gun. So it'll be a little more in your style.
Maybe I'll give it a try.
You gotta.
Maybe I'll give it a try.
You gotta. For the man that bought Elden Ring and will eventually play it, you have to try Resident Evil 4.
Just like earlier in the show and games that we've been playing, Dave gave me the games that he wants to play that he loaded up.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Yeah, the games that are in the queue.
So I have Elden Ring in the queue, loaded, ready to go.
Yeah.
And one day, I'll give it the good 30-minute try.
Nice. Okay. So,
just like this next game that was at the State of Play, and that is Resident Evil Village, which is Resident Evil 8. VR treatment. It will be PSVR. They will get the VR treatment. I mean,
is it VR 2 or VR 1?
VR 2.
Okay,
so you famously played Resident Evil 7.
I did. Thanks to this guy right here.
I had to tape you and put you on Instagram. We should take some of that footage and put it on YouTube because it was hilarious. Because you are famously afraid of chainsaws, and this game has chainsaws.
It was well documented. Gears of War and Resident Evil 7, hella full of chainsaws. And I did it because Dan was I dare Resident you to do the whole entire game. I said okay. And
Resident Evil 7 different than Gears of War in the sense that chainsaws and Gears of War is what you have for the most part.
Well, and your opponent when you're doing multiplayer. So
okay, well, all right, I give you that. I wouldn't know that because I don't do multiplayer. But I wouldn't know that.
So you basically get like whether you're the cog or the horde, you get the same weapon set, and the Lancer, which is like the base weapon, has the melee chainsaw. Which
my question to you is, I know you beat Resident Evil 8, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think you have it for Xbox, right?
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Will you buy this for PlayStation for the PS5 to play in
VR? When I get the VR2 headset and Resident Evil Village is on discount, yes. And you can quote me on that as many times as you want.
I will hold you to that, and I want to record you to compare you playing VR for Resident Evil 7 and then
I could do that. I mean, I loved 8. I don't know if I loved it as much as 7, but it was good, and I beat it. And it does tie in the story nicely. It sets up 9, which will be the end of that trilogy. So, very, very hype.
We definitely have more VR news to talk about, but before we get into any of that, I gotta say I wasn't expecting this, but I was pleasantly surprised because I'm excited for it. I'm super excited for it, and that is Street Fighter 6.
Oh yeah,
gameplay trailer, right? And it's coming. We have a release window. It's coming out in 2023, so sometime next year. Plus, they didn't announce this obviously because it's a state of play, but they did announce this on YouTube that it will be coming to Xbox too. It's not a PlayStation exclusive. PlayStation has Sony has the marketing for it, obviously, right?
So that means Sony didn't fund the game; they just paid for the marketing.
The marketing, just like Call of Duty, right? Yeah. So I was super excited. I love the fact we're going to see new characters. I definitely love the city aspect, which I don't know if we're going to have some type of, like on the old Mortal Kombat games where they had a different style of game where you can like a beat 'em up or race or anything.
Oh, well,
I mean, they showed the cities. Well, they showed this like it looked like Manhattan, Times Square.
It's Metro City.
Metro City. There we go.
Which is where Metro City came about in Final Fight, which was originally called Street Fighter 89, which is why there's so many references. You get the statue of Mayor Mike Hagar. You get Metro City listed all over the place. I saw Abigail in some of the signs. I think I saw the boss of the first level, the guy with the dreadlocks. You see the back of his jacket, and it says like Metro City or Mad Gear or whatever. And I think that's Damned or Thrasher, depending on which version of the game you played. So those references, all about.
They showed a lot of the Metro City. So I don't know if there's going to be any type of, any other side mission, game that they're going to have. If
they had like a 3D beat 'em up, oh my god, Dan, that's what I want.
That would fit more with Street Fighter in the art style and the characters than it did with Mortal Kombat. Right?
Yeah.
Like I could see 100%. That happening.
Yeah. 100%. So the roster did leak, which is interesting, and the official Street Fighter Twitter basically owned up to it. They're like, "Hey, leaks happen. We didn't mean for this to get out, but we love the support and can confirm basically." So we get the original 8 World Warriors from 2. Cammy and DJ from Super Street Fighter 2, the new challengers. Akuma from Super 2 Turbo. Jury from 4. Rashid, Ed, and Luke from 5. And 7 brand new fighters. Some of them we saw in the trailer. So that's 22. Up from 16, which is what 5 launched with. It had the 8 World Warriors, the 4 bosses, and 4 new fighters. which was a little weak because it was missing a bunch of modes, didn't have a lot of fighters.
Yeah, but it didn't have the one thing every fighting game needs to have. Every
Story
fighting
mode?
game, you can't have a fighting game
Story mode?
without having an arcade mode. It's not
arcade
a fighting
mode.
game.
That's right. Yeah.
It's not a fighting game unless you have an arcade mode. That doesn't make any sense.
Yep.
That's the one mode you need for it to be a fighting game.
Mm-hmm. It was very anemic. Now they've fixed it all. They've made tons of patches.
Guess what?
They've had three seasons of updates.
Guess what? I have all 4 Street Fighter V games for the PS4 in my collection. All 4 of them.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing now, but it took a while to get there. So they are by all accounts fixing that with 6 out the gate. They want to come out strong. So
yeah, it's
going to be amazing. I really hope they do have a beat 'em up version though.
I doubt they will, but I think they should though, right? Because that's not something they would sell separately, right? Like that's not gonna. The Capcom's not gonna have a beat 'em up that they can sell separate,
right?
And this could be like sort of like a test thing where you could have like a final fight beat 'em up, right, as a side game, right? You don't have to put too much into it. You don't have to put too many levels into it or anything. And you can have DLC. It could be DLC later on as well.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we
put more levels into it.
We talked about my favorite fighting franchise earlier in the show, Tekken. And Tekken 3 and Tekken 4 both had beat 'em ups in there, the Tekken Force mode. And they were like, the one in like 3 was just like a side scroller, and then you'd fight some bosses. Tekken 4 was even more fleshed out. It was amazing. So they could definitely do it. There's definitely some precedent there.
All right. So we go from that and we come back to VR. We got Horizon Call of the Mountain, right? We got the sort of the VR experience. We saw a little bit more of that, right? It looked amazing. It looked like something I definitely wanted to get into. It's still weird to see just the 2 hands moving, right? Like no body, no arms.
I mean, you have to do it that way, right? You can't do third person VR because it just doesn't work. It's very tough.
You're doing it's a total Horizon game. You're not playing as Aloy. You're playing as a different character in the universe, right? Just the 2 hands, man. Come on, I want to see arms. I just feel like I need to see. Arms.
I get you on that. Yeah, I get you on that. I think they, I mean, there's reasons why they do that. But I'm with you. It is like a little bit weird. It's probably going to take some time to get used to, especially because like you said, you're doing the climbing, you're doing the jumping, like you're just as acrobatic, but you are like in the head of the person. It did look great though. You know, it's going to be awesome fighting those dinosaurs.
It looked amazing. I want this. I want this to be sort of the killer app. I just don't think it will. I'll be honest. I just don't. I think this is like the icing on the cake type of thing. I don't think we have that killer app for VR. And I think another thing with VR. You don't
think Forbidden West is going to do it?
I'm not saying it won't help. It will help, but I feel like this is. I feel like this is the Gears of War to a Halo that we don't have, right? Like,
wow, you were putting down Gears of War, huh?
No, I think Gears of War is great, man. I don't think Gears of War is the lead franchise for something. Like, I think Halo is, right? Like God of War is, Mario is.
Yeah, right? Yeah. All right, I would disagree, but because I it's not going to be as big as Horizon Forbidden West. We know that. It's going to be a little more streamlined, most likely. Yeah. But it's going to be a full...
I don't think it's going to be open world. It's definitely going to be a more linear experience.
No.
Yeah.
But I still think it's going to be a AAA game. You're going to get, a good 8 to 10 hours out of it. Maybe a little bit more, depending on what they put into it. So, I don't know. Like, I would be happy paying $60 to play this game.
Okay. We did get regular Horizon Forbidden West news. It's getting a major update, including New Game Plus, right? So it's going to make it harder, which I wish Elden Ring would have New Game Plus to make it easier. You see how that works?
You want to go the other way with it.
Where the game comes out, it's been out, people have got their fill of it, and then they add something for people who want more of a challenge to get them into the game. You have the game that's very challenging. The people who love, like Dave, to get these challenging games have had their fill, Now it's my turn to get the scraps. Now you can put out an easier mode so I can jump in and say, oh yeah, I enjoyed the game too. Just not like you, differently, right?
To be fair to Forbidden West, it's more than just hard mode. You can respect your character, and they've added a bunch of new features into the game. So, and it's all free, right? It's a free update, I believe. So you don't have to pay for any of this. They're just like, look, quality of life features. Here's a new hard mode. So good on Sony for pushing that out.
Honestly, so I'm not gonna lie. When I first heard of the State of Play, I thought it was just gonna be stuff like this. Oh yeah, Horizon Forbidden West. It gets a hard mode and some updates.
Yep.
Like I thought. That's what I thought.
Some little nibbles. Yeah.
So I'm glad to see we got the meat, and we're still getting a little bit of nibble. Then we got a new Dead Space game. Sorry, I mean Callisto Protocol, which is basically the next Dead Space game made by the Dead Space creator. Right.
It all comes full circle.
If you blink, you would think it's a new Dead Space game because it looks exactly the same.
Right, which is fine by me. I'm definitely okay with it. Yeah.
And it's coming out in December of this year.
Okay.
So, you know what that means? That means it'll be Game of the Year at the Game Awards next year.
Oh, of course. It's not gonna make the cutoff. Yeah.
No, it's not gonna make the cutoff at all.
Yeah.
This next game actually got leaked a week prior to the State of Play, so it wasn't a big surprise. The cat game Stray gets a release date alongside an announcement. It will be free for PlayStation Plus Extra and Premium next month. So if you ever wanted to, know what it felt like to play a cat in Cyberpunk, here you go. This is what it is.
It's a very unique experience. I am all about this. The cat looks cute. I think the gameplay looks good. You do a lot of cat things. Which is cool. I mean, you're like,
what's cat things? You just
you're like kind of jumping up onto signs and walking across little narrow pathways, and you're knocking over stuff that's like in your way, and it'll probably be a lot of like fetching stuff and like puzzles, environmental puzzles, and whatever else, because you can't be like Ezio with like the like twin hidden blades going around stabbing people in necks, right? You can't be like V from Cyberpunk with your shotguns and machine guns running around.
Why can't the cat be Rocket Raccoon? Why can't it arms turn into guns and you start shooting?
That would also be that would also be great.
That's Cyberpunk. That's a Cyberpunk thing.
Cats up on the two hind legs. I would be down with that too. Yeah.
Come on. All right. We also got some PC news. I knew this would happen. Also, something I sort of called. We didn't do predictions, but I did call this. I said Spider-Man's coming to PC, and guess what? It is. Marvel's Spider-Man, the remastered version that came out 2 years ago, and Spider-Man Miles Morales will swing the PC later this year. So,
I mean, this is something Sony has to do. All right, Nintendo surprisingly gets away with it. They force you to buy the hardware. You have to play their games on their system. They will never acquiesce. But I think PlayStation's in the position of where Microsoft is, and they're Microsoft is supporting PC, and you can.
You have three different business models. You have three different business models where it's strictly by their hardware. Microsoft gives you the option to buy it on their hardware or buy it on PC, and Sony wants to double dip, where they say if you want to buy it when it first comes out, you got to buy it on our hardware, and then a year later we'll put it out on PC, and also get major sales.
Right? Yeah, and I'll be a little bit more kind to Sony because they don't have any stake in the Windows platform. They don't own it, they don't run it.
That's true,
and they don't really have any good front end app that coordinates with it. So could they do that? 100%. Should they do that? I think that would be a good idea to do that, but they don't have any of that in place. So they just can't. So they're going to make you buy it again on the Steam store or wherever, and then you just download it and play it. So
the next game I think could be the killer app for me, at least, to be in VR.
This one?
That is this one. No Man's Sky coming to PSVR 2.
But we have it in VR already. You could play it now on your PlayStation 4 in VR.
This is gonna be new stuff. And I'm sure it'll be better quality. I mean, I'm
of course,
looking forward
of course,
to new No Man's Sky in PSVR 2.
I mean, trust me, I'm happy to see it too. I'm glad they're righting the wrongs of 2015. I think it was 2015 or 2016.
2015, correct.
Yeah. Hello Games has gone above and beyond at this point. They messed up a lot, and then they said, no, we got you. We are committed to fixing it. And they've been consistently putting out new updates.
You know what I'm looking forward to? I'm looking forward to actually getting off this damn planet I'm stuck on. I don't know how you get off the planet. Everyone else is leaving their
you could do that from the get. You just have to get the materials to fix your ship.
I keep trying to find the materials, and they're nowhere near me. And I spent hours in the game.
You gotta like search for them. You gotta do work, man. It's not gonna come to you. There's no easy mode.
I put in that work. Well, it should be. There you go. It should be an easy mode. It's been since 2015.
It's not hard.
It's been 2015. Just give me the materials in walking distance so I can go get it. Another VR game could be a killer app. You never know, and that is Walking Dead: Saints and Sinners Chapter 2: Retribution. Announced for the PSVR 2. I'm not gonna lie, I thought this was just a zombie game. I had no idea this was gonna be a Walking Dead game. I thought this was just a VR zombie game, which I'm not gonna, it looked cool. I think the Walking Dead sort of label on it gives it a negative stigma because we've had so many bad Walking Dead games, right?
Right.
And I think the last sort of Destiny style Walking Dead game died, right? Like I forgot the name of that, but that game just sort of fizzled, came and went.
Yeah.
So I think it's a negative to have a Walking Dead label on this, and they could have just rebranded it something totally different. But
But well,
I'll try it. I would buy it. I would buy it. You try it for the PSVR.
So that's 4 VR games, right? They said there was going to be, I forget the number, but Sony said there's going to be
20 VR games at launch.
Right. 20 substantial VR games too. Yes. I would include the Resident Evil 4, Village, Horizon, which we knew about, and the new Walking Dead game. Well, and also No Man's Sky. I will throw No Man's Sky in there too, because it's now getting a PS5 VR2 upgrade. So you have 5. That's 5 out of the 15. So, and we still have time. Because I mean,
how about this? You think Half-Life?
No.
You think that'll come into PSVR 2? You think they'll broker a deal to have it come out the PSVR
Half-Life
2?
Alex? No.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Why not? They've already made the sales. They've already made the sale they're going to make.
No, I don't necessarily think it's we want to keep it on our platform. It's a bit of a performance hardware issue. It needs a specific level of computing power and a specific headset, and there's a lot to it that makes it good in that way. It's it's kind of like Apple saying well, we have the best experience, right? Because they lock all their stuff down. They're it's curated. You get the iPhone with the iOS operating system. You get Half-Life Alyx with the Valve Index or whatever it is, whatever the latest one is, and that's the experience. And it's a good experience if you have a good enough computer for it. And so maybe I'm not saying the VR2 is not going to be powerful enough, but it's a very specific experience.
Okay.
So maybe.
All right. And last on our list for State of Play.
Mm-hmm.
It is no longer an Xbox exclusive, so you can't say this is why you buy an Xbox only to play this game. And to be honest, I think it'll come to Switch, sooner than later as well. Tunic jumps to PlayStation in September, and I gotta believe if it's jumping to PlayStation, it will be on a Nintendo Direct as well. I guarantee you, it'll be on the Switch at the same time. So, because it doesn't make any sense to have it on PlayStation now. And then bring it to Switch next year? That doesn't make any sense. Now the exclusivity is up. You bring it to everything, right?
Of course.
Switch, PlayStation. So no longer Xbox exclusive. So no longer a reason just to buy it.
Right.
Because, exclusives right now, few and far between for all platforms. Every platform. Especially Xbox. All right. With that said, I want to jump into the next story that sort of coincides with what I just said. Xbox exclusive. Few and far between. We're not getting a lot of them. They bought all these studios.
Yeah.
But nothing to show just yet. I know it's going to go gangbusters in like 3 years where everything's going to be Xbox exclusive.
It should have been gangbusters already, but we had a little zombie apocalypse for the last 2 years.
But apparently this won't be one of those games that will be exclusive, and that is Bethesda's Indiana Jones game. This comes from Windows Central. Windows Central heard that this will be multi-platform, so it will come out on PlayStation and Xbox. And if that is true, the only thing I could say is it's probably one of the last deals that they made prior to the Microsoft purchase. So Microsoft has to, keep that contractual obligations.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree with that. The other thing is that they could say, hey, we want to make more money. Let's not make this an exclusive.
Especially if we're paying for the license.
Right. Well, there you go. That too. You want to recoup the losses on whatever the fees are for the licenses, which is in the millions, right? Because they are making a new Indiana Jones movie, and it is a pretty well-regarded property, IP or whatever it is. So
I know, but I think it's more likely that it's something that they, because you don't just they announced this game a few months after that, and you don't sort of get in contract, the IP and the license and pitch a game and have some, prototypes for the game within a few months. It takes a long time. So I think this is one of those, we inked the deal to make it multi-platform before we were purchased. That makes a little bit more sense. But maybe if it goes well, maybe Indiana Jones 2, right? Might be exclusive. If it goes, if everything goes well, we'll see. I'm just glad Ubisoft is not making an Indiana Jones game. You remember the days of Activision and Ubisoft with all the licensed movies, right? I know Ubisoft is making the next Avatar game, which we don't know anything about other than the fact that the set pieces, the assets look good when they first announced it, but we don't know anything about the game, right?
Yeah.
Ubisoft, it looks like Ubisoft isn't having an E3 event or presentation.
Right. Well, I mean,
so
there's rumors going around of a buyout, which or outside funding, right? Maybe a Chinese government or Chinese organization influx of money to help boost up Ubisoft. Maybe it's a buyout. We don't know. So, and also there's probably not a lot to show, right? They obviously don't have, not obviously, but they probably don't have a Assassin's Creed ready. There's The Division, probably not.
Division
Ghost
3,
Recon.
that's not going to be ready.
Right.
No.
Splinter Cell,
not
Ghost
ready.
Recon, probably not. So, yeah, what do they got? All right.
Put it this way. Whatever they have, they probably maybe have Skull and Bones. That's another one, right? We heard it's ready, but is it any good from that leak? Probably not.
Yeah.
I think we will see a next Assassin's Creed game, and that will probably be at Summer Games Fest. They just don't have enough to have their own presentation.
Right.
Just like Jeff Keighley said. So
yeah.
I think we'll see it somewhere, but just not their own.
They are certainly learning from last year.
Yeah, I know.
Because there were so many duds. So many duds.
But what about Mario plus Rabbids 2, right? Like that's something that's supposed to be slated to come out this year. So if that's still if that's still ready to go, then that's a Nintendo Direct. And then maybe you have Assassin's Creed at Summer Games Fest with Jeff Keighley. So because I would be that way. I
am very at a loss for what Nintendo is going to show. I don't know.
That's the game that's coming out this year. That's the big.
I mean, Nintendo's definitely got some stuff that they're going to be like,
that's the
boom,
big holiday
here we go.
game. That's the big holiday game.
Yeah, but
all right. As of this recording, okay, we will limited run. We'll have their showcase later today. They will have their E3 style showcase. Over 30 plus games to show. Okay, and apparently it's been confirmed that the Cowabunga collection will be a part of it, and there will be not only a PS4 and a Switch version, but there will be an Xbox version as well. So, is this officially their first Xbox game? Right?
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah, it would. I think so. I mean, and they said they were like working on getting Xbox games out. They still haven't. We've had a couple years of Switch games already, right? So they moved beyond PlayStation and Vita. Yeah, I'm surprised it took so long because Sony was. Well, I think Nintendo probably would have been a lot harder to get to get all that red tape kind of worked out. Microsoft seems pretty amenable to that, and I wonder what the holdup was. I don't know.
Well, I will say this. I don't know this for a fact. I just want to say, I want to put it out there. I don't know this for a fact. Our last guest, Patrick, did not tell me this. He was tight-lipped. He couldn't say anything because of NDAs, right? And surprises. But I'm going to guess, this is a complete guess and prediction from me.
WrestleQuest
that WrestleQuest will be at Limited Run because Limited Run will put out the physical edition, and then I will pre-order it. I
will do you one better. WrestleQuest and WrestleQuest Special Edition with a championship belt.
Wow!
Think about it.
Even a belt? You think a belt? Okay.
It's either gonna be a belt or it's gonna be one of those little like thumb wrestling rings where you get the guys and you can bounce them off the one of those two things. One of those.
Wow.
Two things. Okay. How awesome would that be though? I would almost pay for that. I would almost.
Like a Rock'em Sock'em robot? You mean?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah,
okay. Yeah. All right. I don't know about that one, but
okay.
Definitely maybe an action figure. Like an old school.
There you go. A little like
80s,
Machacho Man. Yeah.
80s action figure. I would pre-order those.
Oh my god. That'd be awesome.
So I'm looking forward to that. We'll talk about everything that they announced next week, right? Along with all the other things that are happening next week. So, but next on the list is Sega. Let's talk about Sega for a minute. They officially announced a Mega Drive Mini 2. We have a new mini system. Another mini system. And I think the first one did well, apparently, right? The Mega Drive one. They sold over 1.5 million units in less than a year.
Well, it was made by M2 and not by At Games, right?
That's true.
And M2 does amazing ports. They did all the new Sega Ages stuff, I think, and a lot of the good ports for Sega stuff.
So this is just the Mega Drive. This is just the Japanese version. They haven't announced a US version, but it will include 50 games, including Sega CD game. Okay? And it's coming out October 27th, $75, and a Sega CD attachment with the CD that you can put in it cost you $37. Will cost you $37, the equivalent of $37.
Right. So I'm upset that they make you buy, even though it's just ornamental. They should have made it with the thing attached already. If there's Sega CD games in there already, they should have put it together. If they had to up the price a little bit, like make it $80 or $85 or whatever it is, but it's just a hunk of plastic that's just there for display purposes.
So they added the 50 games. They announced 11. I'm not going to name all the games, but just some standouts for me that we're getting: Shining Force CD, Sonic CD, Virtual Racing. Shining into the darkness. That was a Mega Drive, right? And Fantasy Zone, we're getting a Mega Drive port. Well, they're getting a Mega Drive port, which makes sense. So they're really serious. I mean, come on, you gotta have a lot of. You think they'll have some full motion video Sega CD games in here, right? Like Night.
Well,
like
Sonic
Night
CD
Trap,
did
maybe?
have a Sonic CD did have a FMV intro.
Yeah, it did. But do you think I'm talking about like Night Trap, like just full FMV games? You think?
Oh, I
don't know Night Trap specifically. I don't know about Night Trap specifically.
You have to for the nostalgia. You have to. They could do that first person fighting game. I forget.
Yeah.
Not a Way of the Warrior, but yeah. They have to. They have to.
Well,
they gotta have
I give you a Sega CD, old Sega CD story. I really, I'm younger than you, little bit, So Power Rangers, I was into Power Rangers when it first came out.
Yeah.
The original Power Rangers. Not when Tommy became the leader and they switched out, Jason. It was Jason, Trini, and Zach. Right? When they left, I left, kind of.
Okay.
Right.
You're like OG or die. That's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay.
It was, hey, do you want the Genesis? Do you want the Genesis, Super Nintendo, or Sega CD Power Ranger game? And I was like, no, I want Sega CD. I just got this. I forgot to get it for Christmas, and I was so disappointed because it was all FMV. It was.
Yeah, and it's funny because that was like the bleeding edge of like, hey, look at this cool stuff that we can do. We could have video in a video game, right? In the video game, like running video. Now it was trash, and everything was like, kind of like time button presses, or just you're watching a bunch of video and then you make a text choice and then it queues up another video, right? And they were all terrible. Sewer Shark was bad. Night Trap was bad.
I love Sewer Shark.
Double Switch was bad
because it was one of the only games. It was like one of the 2 games I had for the Sega CD.
But the whole entire game is a tiny little video window, and then there's like 3 directions you can go, right? Like left, right, or center, and then you tap the thing, and then it queues up another video.
Okay,
and
all right.
If you go the wrong direction, you hit a shark. That's
for our younger viewers, okay. These were graphics, right? These were things that it blew our minds. So my mind was blown because I didn't see anything like this before.
Same.
So Shark.
But when you get
Shark a little bit close to the heart because I played
it's nostalgia.
The heck out of
it. I get it. Listen.
It was the only game I had for a while.
Listen, I wanted the Marky Mark and the Funky Bunch video creator as much as the next guy.
Okay,
but
the Scottie Pippen game, which cost a lot. Of money.
Shut up and jam, right?
Yeah, it sucked. I knew it sucked. Even then, I knew it sucked.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah.
Well,
but there's going to be at least 1 or 2 on the disc for sure.
I hope so. Some people are disappointed that we didn't get a Dreamcast Mini or a Sega Saturn Mini. I know I'm just Sega Saturn Mini. They did comment on it, saying that cost-wise, it could be a little bit too expensive because the mini systems are designed to be an impulse buy, and for the money that they would have to be under 100. Yes, the money they would have to pay to have a lot of these games on there to make it worth to buy one. Would push the price a little bit over that impulse buy price. So that's one of the reasons why they said they don't know. They've said they've talked about it, but no, they haven't come to any conclusion or anything like that, or nothing to announce.
For the Dreamcast one, you need to get support from Capcom, and you need to get support from Namco, if just for Soul Calibur. And then you can pack the rest with the rest of the Sega stuff.
Come on, you gotta have Power Stone, at least one, or at least the 2, one of the 2 games.
Power Stone's Capcom, Power Stone's Capcom. So, for sure.
You definitely need Capcom. Like they made a lot of
course. You need to get Marvel vs. Capcom on there. Games. Power Stone, right? Maybe even Cannon Spike if you want to go deep. And then again, you get Soul Calibur, and then the rest is all Sega stuff, and then you're good. Like that's your console.
All right, let's stick with Sega. We got first gameplay trailer for the new Sonic game, mainline Sonic game, Sonic Frontiers. I'm not gonna lie, there was mixed reviews out there. Like when I first saw it, I was on vacation. I thought it looked, I don't want to say great, but I was into it because it was sort of like an open world Sonic, something that everybody has wanted since the late 90s, like the early, like the Sonic. We thought the Sonic adventure games would follow in Mario, right? With Mario 64, and it looked like it's sort of like a modernized Mario 64, where it's an open world Sonic game. You get to go into different directions. What was that? Mario and Bowser. Mario plus Bowser, right? It looks like Sonic game in Mario plus Bowser. That's what it looks like, right? It's open world. Now, some people are talking about the graphics don't look good and the battle system don't look good, but it does look like early footage, somewhat.
Right. They're still working on it. Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to come out this year.
Well,
it does look like early footage, but I'm excited for the open worldness of the Sonic game. Not so much. I don't really care too much to make it, look like the best looking Sonic game of all time. As long as it doesn't look like trash, which it doesn't. Right. I'm sorry.
No,
it doesn't look like trash.
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
I want the open world Sonic game, and if it does well, then you improve upon it, use the same engine, make it look even better, and then Sonic Frontiers 2, right, could be like that new marquee Sonic game. So
yep.
I'm looking forward to it. I want to buy it. I'm all in. I'm all in.
Yeah, it's straight up Breath of the Wild vibes, which could be awesome because Breath of the Wild. Yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. It's the best Zelda game, hands down. It beats the original. Sorry, I'm saying it.
Right, well, Stone Cold Steve Austin agrees with you, except for Cody Rhodes doesn't.
No, Cody can kick rocks. Sorry. I love you, Cody, but you're wrong.
He just beat Seth Rollins last night.
There you go. There you go. Yeah. So I am cautiously hype. I think I'm in the same boat that you are, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's end with Nintendo. No Nintendo Direct, at least not yet. Hopefully we get a Nintendo Direct at least announced soon, right? Like I don't know if they're going to wait until all the other big announcements next week happen and then they announce something for the end of June. But I hope we get a Direct soon. But until then, if you want to have some Nintendo, the Super Nintendo World, not Super Mario Brothers 3, it's Super Nintendo World, okay?
Yes.
Coming in Universal Studios Hollywood with Mario Kart Ride and more in 2023. So this is already out in Japan, but it's coming out to the States, California, not Florida. I wish it was Florida, and I would definitely go see it in 2023.
Right.
But what do you think about that? Mario Kart Ride looks pretty cool. I thought it looked cool.
I gotta see it in person because it's a combination of augmented reality, the real track, and like a screen. I have to see it in action because it felt kind of weird, right?
I'm actually gonna. Have you been to Universal Studios?
I have not.
Okay, so I've been to Universal Studios 3 times in Florida, the Florida one. And when you go, they have like the open hub, the big lake and the open hub where everyone goes to like the club and restaurants. But you have two sort of theme parks. You have the I forgot the names, so excuse me, the name's a little off. But you have one park over here that's mostly roller coasters, where they still have the Incredible Hulk and X-Men World, which obviously Disney owns, but it's been here forever before Disney bought them.
Right. They still have the rights to it for a couple of years.
I'm sure they have a long-term license, right? They probably have like another 10 years of having this before Disney World will have it and put something else here. And Harry Potter, they have the Harry Potter and Betty Boo and stuff like that. Oh, Jurassic Park here. And then they have another park, the second park, where it's less roller coasters, more like experiences and shows, right? Like they have the Late Night with Jimmy Fallon show. They do have like this huge roller coaster where you listen to music, kind of crazy. You listen to rock and roll and you're just going straight down. that was kind of scary. But they have more of an experience with the Simpsons, Transformers, and Spider-Man. There's Marvel again, right? Spider-Man, where it's more of an indoor roller coaster, and it's taking you and you're seeing like virtual experiences, and then you're going with Spider-Man as he's webbing through, and you get hit with water because you're supposed to get hit with like webbing, right?
Oh yeah, okay.
That was awesome. I'm not gonna lie. And if it's anything like that, where like I'm in a race car and I'm like going and I'm on the track and then I'm going up and down and somebody hits me with a shell and they throw water in you, like that I can go for.
Okay.
Like that sounds awesome. So don't knock it just because you.
I'm not. I'm not as the video didn't make me as hype as, and I think that's with anything, right? You really got to experience the coaster, no matter what kind of attraction it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would be cool if they threw like ink into throwing ink into you to blind you and they throw water in your face.
Right.
Now you can't see and you're wobbling, right? Yeah. But you still hit first place, right?
Right.
So that would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
All right.
Yeah, good deal.
That's it for the stories. That's it. Dave, you got any good plans happening?
I upgraded the PC with some more RAM, so I am
okay.
I'm very excited. I tried to play some Cyberpunk again. Didn't mention it at the beginning of the show because the game kept crashing.
Nice.
And I have problems.
Your PC?
Yeah, and I have problems trying to get the update. That keeps failing. So
you know what you should do?
I'd uninstall and reinstall.
No, just buy it for PS4, Xbox.
No,
I won't. It's like $5 at this
I'm
point.
definitely not going to buy the PS4 version. I'm going to buy the PS5 version.
Well, they don't have a PS5. You buy the PS4
it's the same
version,
one.
Pop it in, and it automatically download a 100 gig patch.
Yeah, I know. So I'm gonna try and get that all working. I think I may know. Well, I don't know, but I think I have some solutions I can try to make that work.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna finish Stranger Things season 4, part 1.
Oh, it's pretty good this year.
It is pretty good. I'm one episode away.
Okay.
I know, and then July 1st. I don't know how many. I hope it's not 7.
I think it's just 2. I think it's the last 2.
2 or 3.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready to finish it and ready to see what happens. I love Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm.
This technically was supposed to be season 5, the last one, but because of COVID, they delayed it like 2 years, right?
Yep.
So, I know they're a little older, and I'm okay with it being. I'm okay with them being older. Like
they're a lot older, but it's also only 1986, and they have aged like 7 years since the first one came out.
Yeah.
So
well,
it is. It is what it is.
I'm okay with them jumping to like 1989 and they're in college.
Right, exactly. That should work out the timeline. It's fine.
They're in college. They're in college. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I'm worried. The
one thing I'll say, and I know it's kind of a plot point. That doesn't necessarily ruin anything, but it's way too much Kate Bush. They play running up that hill in every damn episode. I'm like, all right, come on, a little less Kate Bush. That's all.
I will say that
Winona
and Hopper.
Yes.
Winona and the Hopper storyline.
I'm with you. It doesn't. Well, yeah, we can talk after, but I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
That's all. I mean, listen. Entertaining as hell.
Oh, 100%.
And if you want to believe in the upside down world and monsters and superpowers, and they make it sort of believable.
Oh yeah.
They could have did a little bit better with this, with the Winona and Hopper story. They could have.
I'm with you.
That's it.
I'm with you. I want to know what your thoughts are after you finish the last episode, because there are some things that will be revealed in that last episode, which is kind of cool. Kind of ties it all together. Well, that's it. I think that's episode 319 in the books, and we want to thank you guys for listening, liking, commenting, doing all the good stuff that you guys do. If you want to interact with us, and we know that you do, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube at Rated G for Gamers. Also, we are part of the Gaming Podcast Alliance. You can check out all the fine podcasts featured on there at gamingpodcastalliance.com if you're looking for more gaming goodness. So, please listen, like, rate, review, and subscribe. And as always,
keep gaming.